Alright, we are at E15 in the Fairytale Element Series, and I'm bringing you these points of attraction, these centers of gravity that you can communicate through the very resonance of it by the words that you say around it. And each part of the series I bring a new understanding of a concept. And this one has to do with intellect. And it is a champion vibration for me. When I found this, the trolley during the day, the wavelength itself of what I would call intellect. In fact, the Holy Spirit seemed to deliver it to me in that word itself. And so here's what intellect is. It has to do with mind and each character's relationship to their mind and how they use their brain. Now this starts from when they're a baby, their own version of their self-concept and how they see themselves within their head and the ways and approaches that they have to connect and to create in the world have to do with what they understand themselves to be in each situation. So you can pigeonhole, using Saturn structure, the energy of a day to be somewhat of in a box. And then you can say the day is really the work that I'm doing and the emotions that I have that followed work. Or you can just fly on a magic carpet and pull ideas, just like I did the Fairytale Element Series, the understanding and idea of using my mind and my own self-concept to build through the powerful champion wavelength, Kanye West influence reflecting Andrew as another character, to be in a realm of understanding conception, the conception of concepts themselves, and how I relate myself to how I use my mind, and all the access that you have to it. So this would be in the zodiac the energy of Leo, the ability to vibrate in harmony with a certain understanding and a certain direction that you're looking to go. So a person finds their approaches through their own unique neural connections. Whatever lightning happens within them when they electrify, to bring about the story as it makes sense to them. See, everybody has their things. I have my Andrew thing, and you have your things. But a lot of times the focus is on the stimulus is within the algorithm, and so the story would be, I picked up the drink and I drank it, and I remember back the memory when I go to talk to somebody because they share resonance. I was drinking water. But the process to why I decided to drink water, why I have a Jesus, the gift of hope cup, why people wear the shirts they wear, my Libra moon shirt, rule the sky, transfer into Scorpio day, Scorpio moon, the way and the tap that astrology has unlocked vibrations of understanding, the way certain people, certain archetypes, the way story structure has revealed who I am as Andrew, the way story structure has revealed what was the global point of attraction within me, the way story structure has built the idea of things as centers of gravity. The whole process has to do with a character's intellect, how they are able to approach things, and the concepts that they use within them. So if I use the concept, I want really clear, pure thoughts. Almost like I don't really even have to use any energy. I just think them and I vibrate there, and it's not difficult at all. But when a person walks around in their aura, they reflect things to you. They reflect a wavelength, they reflect a life experience, they reflect a mental way of bringing down fire from the gods. Really, people have you say there's something about the person, they're so enigmatic. When I see them, I feel their presence, I feel their energy, and the energy glows from an inner resonance, but also how you begin to vibrate it in cadence, in word, in time signature, in tempo, in cadence. The ways that a person practices their reality into being, seemingly unconsciously at first, and then begins to draw mountains in their mind, begins to use words that steer nations, and beginning to use words that call forth ideas of the stars and one day expanding. And the idea of the speed of light is within you, and this physical reality that we have is within that ball of physical light, and it's your points of attraction that bring about this. So what are kids doing as they grow older? One of the things is they're developing their intellect. They're developing their power of mind, their understanding of mind, their areas of expertise and their areas of genius by the ways that they have explored and the ways that they have looked after things. Now, they can call it certain things. Gary Busey on Celebrity Apprentice, Buseyisms. What Penn Jillette told him are acronyms, but they're Buseyisms because they reflect his inner nature. They reflect the way Gary Busey reflects the world at large, and who I am as a broken fractal of the great all that is. And what we can do with our broken fractal and how we can tap into raise our own energy. This is what creativity really is working with this idea that I call intellect, and understanding things like smarts and intelligence and knowledge and wisdom and virtue, and how this character relates their intellect, how they relate their process, their cadence, their story to coming up with something. For example, I think of people as matrices, and her having the concept of developing the 7 billion people matrix scale per my own scale, which is what it is in the universe as the emblem of that idea, codified through Andrew, is the idea of the matrix scale, of which I am number 1 on the list in 7 billion people, because I come up with the list and I embody the point of attraction for what the list is and how to rise on the list. So, thinking of people as eternal beings, translucently transcending through the person as a broken fractal. So it's a broken fractal game that we play to see who is the ultimate game, who's the ultimate person in the matrix of broken fractals. And per inventing the game, I am number 1 in all of the universe. And the game merges the global understanding with an eternal nature. So in that, I feel I have an authority because I've needed that authority where questions were asked that I ascended higher than in my own intellect, in my own definitions, in my own mind, than anybody else had ever projected to me. So I just realized that I am the scale. I know about the scale, and therefore I lead the scale of the global players. Alright, so that's about intellect, and about my self-delusions. But they're a collective self-delusion to play among the fractal kids.